Guys, it's Friday, August 22nd, 2025, and this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. On this episode, we're going to talk about everything that we've heard so far about Chris Jericho potentially going to WWE when his contract is up with AEW, and so much more. So let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as this is the Wrestling Wrap-Up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, but the first thing I want to remind you guys, SmackDown is airing early today. SmackDown is coming to us from Dublin, Ireland, and it will be airing at 3 p.m. Eastern, live on Netflix. So if you guys have international Netflix, then you can watch SmackDown early, and I'm going to do a little dry run to show you guys how to do international Netflix really fast, because people have been asking, how do I do it? So I wanted to open up this show and let you guys know how to do it. So basically what you do, and I'm not showing you guys my screen. Let's show you guys my screen really fast. All right, so basically what you're going to do, I'm using a Google browser. So on a Google Chrome browser, but you can also do this on, it works with Firefox and I think Edge. So what you're going to do is you're going to Google Urban VPN proxy or Urban VPN. You can get it from their website. The easiest way to do it is Urban VPN and then type in extension. You're then going to add it to your Chrome, add extension. You're going to let it do its thing. Might take a minute, might not. I don't know. You can also just get the Urban VPN app, but then that will affect your entire computer. That will affect your entire computer. And so I only want this to affect one of my browsers, so everything else still runs fine. And I see for mobile devices, you can get an app called Free VPN. The icon is a key. Use Urban VPN. You can get Urban VPN on mobile devices for free as well. That is the best one that I found so far. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to Netflix. I'm going to go to Netflix really fast. Load up regular Netflix. Then I'm going to want to turn on Urban VPN. Agree. Not connected. Pick a location. UK. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes certain locations run faster than others. Go WWE, and boom, we're in SmackDown today. Bop, 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 bop. There you go. Friday night SmackDown. That's all you need to do to watch early. Messy, we're not promoting any other VPNs here. It's Urban VPN. That's the best one that we've found, that we use. I have other people that use it too, and it just works flawlessly. So I don't know why you're trying to tell me all these other ones when I'm showing you guys how to use Urban VPN right here. Also, if you do want to get it on your mobile device, let's do this. Go to here. I have to lower the opacity, the screen brightness, so you guys can actually see it. It's going to look like this on Android phones. Now on iPhones, it's going to be a little different. The icon's going to be blue, and I think it's going to have a U. Then all you got to do is open it up. We open it up here. Click your location. Click play. Let it load. Once it loads, sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it doesn't. Give it a couple of seconds. I always wait like 5 seconds or so. Then we go to Netflix. Netflix. Get in there, search WWE. Bada boom. International Netflix with WWE content. Everything. Look, it shows you Clash in Paris with Roman Reigns. So there you go, guys. That is how you can watch SmackDown basically as soon as we're done here. When this show is over, there's maybe going to be like a 30-minute buffer, unless I get it done earlier. But there's going to be less than an hour till SmackDown starts, I believe. So we got to get into all of the news we got to talk about because this, again, is the Wrestling Wrap Up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube. You can help us out over there by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know we post new videos when we go live and when we post to the community tab. Also, remember that you can hit the join button to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get access to our graphics packages. You get a badge next to your name, emotes and emojis. You can use in the live chat in the comment section. You get access to our graphics tutorials and more. And also remember, if you are watching on YouTube and you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're looking to get those Power Rangers, looking to get them in Fortnite. Well, you have till the 29th before they're removed from the store for now. I think they'll probably come back eventually, but who knows when. With all that, also, we got new free games this week. What are the new free games if the Epic Store will actually load for me? Let me refresh this. There we go. What are the new free games this week? Kamaru, a frog refugee. I've never heard of that one. Strange Horticulture. Never heard of that either. Ooh, we're going to make way next week. That's a good one. That's a good one. Make way. But with all of that, we got some stuff to talk about here, because it looks like old Chris Jericho may be heading back, as some like to call it, to the Fed. That's something Nick always calls it to me. I see other people say it. They're not the Fed anymore. They're not the World Wrestling Federation anymore. It's WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. So if you want to condense the name, because you know all these damn kids these days don't like to say the full name. They call it the Fed back in the day. Let's call it the INT for entertainment. The INT. I ain't doing that, though. Anyways, Chris Jericho has been rumored for a little while now, about over a week, maybe a week and a half, to be heading back to WWE. So we have known for a while that Chris Jericho's contract is set to expire with All Elite Wrestling at the end of this year. Some are even pointing at January 1st, he's a free man. And with all of that, there was a random post on Instagram last week where someone goes, oh, Jericho's going to leave AEW and be in the Royal Rumble next year. And Jericho liked that post. Now, this is from, and I'm going to say it right here before anyone says anything. I'm not going to say the name of the account, but it's from an Instagram account that is known and been called out by the big guys for posting fake news. For posting unsourced, uncredited fake news. Now, if they get something from Fightful or The Observer or PW Insider, they'll put that in their post. But then this Jericho one had none of that. It was just them saying it because people were talking this week about Jericho's contract. Hey, Jericho's contract's up at the end of the year, da-da-da-da-da. So they just made a random post, and I guess they guessed right, is what I'm going to say. I guess they guessed right, because then others started talking about this, Fightful and WrestleVotes and the Wrestling Observer, all with info on, oh, yeah, there's a real possibility that Jericho goes back to WWE. And WWE can't, I guess you would say, reach out to Jericho just quite yet. Can't just go to Jericho right now and say, here's the offer we want to give you. You want to come back? Because he's still under contract with AEW. That'd be contract tampering. But they can reach out to a mediary and say, hey, we're interested. Is Chris interested? Okay, when can we start conversations? When can we start talks? So if he's got like an agent or something, then there's a possibility that they could potentially, and I'm not full on the legal jargon here, but potentially reach out to like an agent as a feeler and just say, hey, we're interested. Would he be interested? Okay, cool. Let us know when we can talk. That's all it would be. No offer is going to be offered. No money is going to be, hey, this is how much we want to pay him. None of that. And one of the benefits of Jericho going back to WWE is one of the reasons that was so beneficial to go to AEW in the first place. Schedule. A lighter schedule now in WWE. WWE is not regularly doing house shows. They are on a house show tour right now, starting tonight. They are doing a house show tour in the UK, but it's like those are really the only big house shows that they do anymore. I know they did a couple in Mexico a few weeks ago. They'll randomly pop up and do house shows here and there sometimes, but they don't even need everybody. So if Jericho doesn't want to do a house show, he can just go, hey, Nick Khan, hey, Paul, I'm busy that week. I'll show up for Raw, I'll show up for SmackDown, can't make the weekend. And they'll probably be cool with it. We see a lot of guys who are on this reduced schedule, even before they stopped doing the house shows. Randy Orton was on the reduced schedule. The Miz has been on a reduced, not working house show schedule for a while. So it's like WWE is more open to giving guys time off. Whether you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, some people see it as a good thing, some people see it as a bad thing, because then if you work less, then when you go in there and take bumps, the bumps are going to hurt more because your body's not just used to bumping 4 or 5 days a week. But that's one benefit that Jericho can see to go back to WWE. It's like, oh, well, the schedule in AEW is no longer an advantage. They're kind of the same, if not for some, even better now, because if you're only working Raw or you're only working SmackDown, you only got to show up for that show. In AEW, there's a lot of people that are showing up for both Dynamite and Collision. Now, a lot of times they've been doing the Dynamite and Collision tapings on the same night, or they do like the Dynamite on a Wednesday and the Collision on a Thursday, but there have been live Saturdays still. And so, excuse me, with that, the schedule thing, that's no longer an advantage of AEW to say, want to work less? Come work for us. The other thing with Jericho is we know that Jericho loves change as far as what is new. What can I do that is fresh, different, and that I haven't done before? And you look at that WWE roster, and it's a whole hell of a lot of I haven't done before. I'm going to pull up the WWE main roster right here. We're going to look at both the Raw and the SmackDown rosters. If we go here, pull up the Superstars page. I want to see like just who Jericho hasn't really worked with yet. So let's pull this up on the screen. We look at the Raw roster. Guys like prominent guys or upper mid-level guys that I can see Jericho having good, fun feuds and matches with. AJ, he's already done that whole thing. It was AJ's first Mania match. Austin Theory, he's currently out with an injury, but he'll be back by the time, he could be back by the time Jericho returns. But Austin Theory and Jericho could be a fun match. Then you got these two just behemoths, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Now, has Jericho worked Bronson Reed? I don't think he has. No. Because I was trying to see if they ever, trying to think if they ever crossed paths in New Japan, but I don't think they did. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Those two could be really good opponents for Chris Jericho. He's worked CM Punk, but hey, do it again. Jericho and Dominic Mysterio, the back and forths with those can be so great. Because Dom has really gotten good at picking up the improvisation aspect of promos, where he can work off of somebody pretty well, and we see him just get better and better and better. So if he can go in there and do that with someone like a Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho teaches him and he learns from Jericho, just think of how much better Dom gonna get. Dom just keeps getting better. I'm saying it right now, Dom's one of the best we've got in all of pro wrestling right now. Then you look here and it's like Finn Balor, he's worked Finn. Grayson Waller, that'd be all right. Gunther and Jericho. Oh, buddy. Don't even get me started on how awesome that would be. Jericho and Dragunov, whenever he finally comes back, if he ever comes back at this point. And then, it loaded a little too much. We got JD McDonough. Maybe Jericho forms a tag team with somebody and he faces the Judgment Day. JD and Finn. Yes, he's faced Finn before, but not JD. And as a tag team, that'd be a different thing. Anyways, Jey Uso. He's faced the Usos before, not in singles action, but I'm pretty sure he's faced the Usos in the past. LA Knight and Jericho would be a really fun match and a great promo battle. Those segments on the mic would be fantastic. Jericho working Logan Paul. The shit that Jericho could say to Logan Paul. And then just the match that they would have. Yeah, that's another one. I want to see. I really want to see. More going on. Jericho and Penta. I think they've crossed paths in AEW. I think. He's worked Rey Mysterio. He's worked Sheamus, Seth Rollins. That's the Raw roster. Now let's go look at the SmackDown roster really quickly. Aleister Black. I think they've crossed paths before. Probably both in WWE and AEW, actually, potentially. Just looking here. I know he's worked on Andrade. Carmelo Hayes and Jericho could be a fun match. It'd be a one-off thing. I don't think they'd do a feud or anything out of that. Jericho and Cody, maybe they rekindle something where it's like, hey, Jericho would make a joke of, hey, you're a world champion? Didn't I one time make it so you couldn't win a world title? Like, just a joke of something. Like, they probably wouldn't say it like that. But they can make a funny line or a funny joke of, remember that one time when I beat you and you couldn't go for one of them? You know. McIntyre, I think he's faced McIntyre before, so that wouldn't be new. Jacob Fatu and Jericho would be really fun. Jacob Fatu and Jericho. Oh, bubba. Kevin Owens and Jericho, rekindle that thing. You're on the list. You just made a list. Festival of Friendship, Part 2. Or as Jericho would probably call it, Part Dos. Oh, Lord, I'm just thinking about it now. The Festival of Friendship, Part Dos. No. How did they do it for Joker? What was the name of Joker? The second Joker movie? Oh, he would probably do like a playoff of that. Yeah, what was it again? The second Joker movie? Joker Dead, something like that. Hold on. Joker 2 was called Joker 2. What was the official name for Joker 2? Yeah, he would call it the Festival of Friendship Folie à Deux. Probably, something like that. Folie à Deux. But just looking here. Do rekindle something with Randy Orton, Sami Zayn. He has worked Sami Zayn. He has worked Roman Reigns, but not these versions of Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. Nakamura he's worked, but that would be fun. But yeah, there's a lot of new interesting matchups, and there's even guys in NXT that are going to get called up soon that Jericho hasn't worked with. I mean, we got Obafemi, we got Ethan Page, we got Trick Williams. So Jericho has options. That's the other thing. Who really in that upper mid card, the top echelon in AEW right now is Jericho not worked with? It's just about everybody. So there's nothing fresh there for him. He's won the world title. He's had the big matches there. Well, I mean, what? The only thing Jericho hasn't done in AEW is main event and All In. There's only been 3. Only a couple of guys have done it. But so that's another thing with Jericho. He likes to do new, fresh things. So why not go to WWE and have a new, fresh roster of talent to face? Now, when it comes to news and reports and all of this of Chris Jericho potentially going back to WWE, Joseph Courier of F4W Online does write the following. In the new issue of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer provided some more information on what's going on with Chris Jericho's impending free agency. Jericho has been off AEW TV for more than 4 months now. Is scheduled to become a free agent at the end of the year. He's been with AEW since the promotion launched in 2019 and was the first ever AEW World Champion. But a WWE return is looking like a realistic possibility for him as things stand. Now, I'm editorializing here a little bit. I got to cough again. Jericho being with AEW since the beginning, being the first world champion, Jericho may be the most important person that they had when they started this company. I saw somebody, I forget who it was recently, talk about if AEW ever started a Hall of Fame and who should go in first. The first class of the AEW Hall of Fame should be Cody, Kenny, the Bucks. Without them and what they did before AEW with their all-in show and everything, and then that becoming the buzz of AEW and all that, it's no-brainer. First 4. But then after them, the next person that has to go in, some may say Sting. No, it's Jericho. Because I don't think if they didn't have Jericho, if Vince didn't tell Jericho, yeah, just go take their offer then. Because Jericho went to Vince when he got the AEW offer. I was like, hey, they're starting up this new thing. They want to sign me. This is what they want to pay me. Can you match it? Can you this, that, and whatnot? And Vince laughed at him and said, go. Without that happening, and Jericho saying, oh, really? Okay, I will go. I don't think AEW would be where it is today. I don't think AEW would have gotten that TNT, TBS, Warner Discovery deal as early as they did before they even ran their first pay-per-view. So having a Chris Jericho, a very big profile, recognizable pro wrestling name that's also got recognition outside of wrestling as well, really, really helped them. So like you could do the first class needs to be, again, it's Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny. Then the second class needs to be Jericho, maybe Jericho and Sting. I don't know how many you want to do each time. I know like TNA, when they do theirs, it's only one. I think they do one, sometimes two they've done. But I think it's normally one. So AEW can do one, they can do two. WWE doing the five sometimes. I mean, they've been around for so long and they got so many people that's different. But if AEW wants to start one now or within the next couple of years, I think they should do, after the first class, one or two every year. So you can go Jericho and Sting. But Jericho needs to be one of them first. Like within one of the first. Because he was so instrumental into the success of AEW. Again, like I said, without Jericho, you may not have AEW on Warner Brothers Discovery programming, like on their networks. Now they could have probably went like, we got Cody Rhodes, you know, him from WWE. They probably could have pushed Cody a little harder in those talks and stuff. But again, Cody's known just for being in WWE and just being a mid-card guy, maybe a little higher than mid-card at sometimes. But Jericho, multi-time world champion, got his own band that sells out shows all around the world, been on other TV shows, hosted TV shows, done so much, got a successful podcast. So they're like, oh, yeah, we know that guy. But back to FRW Online reports, as Meltzer notes, there are people in AEW who expect Chris Jericho to go back to WWE when his contract expires. There's a chance he could return to the company as a surprise entrant in the 2026 Royal Rumble, but nothing is definitive until it happens. Quote, there's been a lot of talk regarding Chris Jericho this past week. Neither Jericho nor Tony Khan have said anything about this when asked, but not denied anything either. Jericho's contract expires at the end of the year. There are those in AEW who believe that he's not going to be back and will start with WWE as a Royal Rumble surprise. The only thing we've heard from WWE is that they expect him to keep in mind at this stage of everything, if he's looking to go there or negotiate with them, he's going to give that impression. I can tell you what we've heard. The same about other AEW stars over the years that WWE was pretty sure they were getting, and some went and some stayed. So basically what Dave is saying there is WWE is under the impression from what they're getting, maybe from Jericho's side, maybe just from others that know Jericho, that he's interested and would like to talk. That's what it sounds like Dave is writing here. Dave continues by writing, a few months ago, we wrote here about it, and my thoughts were, and still are, that all things being equal, WWE is the place for him. But all things may not be equal when it comes to money and other factors. Jericho has been away from AEW programming since taking time off in April, when he thought it was the right time for a break, given the negative crowd reactions that he was receiving in AEW. So, WrestleVotes then stated yesterday on their WrestleVotes podcast about, backstage reactions within WWE. No. So WrestleVotes stated on the latest WrestleVotes radio, quote, there's a lot of enthusiasm backstage regarding a Chris Jericho return to WWE. A deal is expected to be completed once he's a free agent with AEW, and there is seemingly significant interest in having him back. Again, people are excited, people are interested, people want to see it happen within WWE. Again, it's just another coup that WWE can say and go, hey, we got another one of your big ones. Like, they got Cody, the first one to really make the jump over, boom. Then they got Jade, another real big one, because that was like the female they were pushing almost higher than anybody. They got those two. And then, no offense to anybody else, but like they've gotten Lexus King, they've gotten Ethan Page, they've gotten Ricky Saints. Like, no offense to them or anything, but they've come over from AEW, made a great splash in NXT, haven't been on the main roster yet, so we don't know their full reach within WWE. But if they can get a Jericho back, again, like I stated earlier, one of the most important people in this company's history, in AEW history, that's a big coup of, oh, yeah, he went and had a drink of water over there, but had to come home. Same with Punk. Punk's a different story because they fired Punk. Punk's a different story because Punk never actually wanted to go there in the first place. Punk always wanted to go back to WWE, and Vince kept saying no, 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 no. So then when Tony said come, he's like, fuck it. Sure, I want to get back into wrestling. So then they also have Penta and Phoenix, who have done great in WWE. Phoenix, been okay. Penta, been great. So yeah, a lot of things. But if they can get a Jericho, then they can be like, look, we had two of your biggest stars from the start want to come back here. Yes, they went to you and played your little game. They went with you to play wrestler, play booker, but they're back here, back home. And Cody has said that multiple times, and not just saying it because he's in WWE, that he's back home, that he's back where he feels like he needs to be. Dave Meltzer has said this more than once since AEW started. Cody Rhodes wanted to go to WWE in 2019. That Cody Rhodes wanted to go back to WWE in 2019, but didn't want to leave the Elite, didn't want to leave the Young Bucks and Kenny. They stated it all in. We're all in this together. Wherever we go at the end of this year, when our contracts are up with AEW, with ROH and New Japan, we will go together. And Dave has stated that Cody pushed on the Bucks a couple of times. Hey, WWE. And Matt Jackson has stated that he had phone conversations with Triple H that were very enticing and very intriguing. But the things that Tony was saying about something new, you guys are involved in everything. You guys are EVPs. You guys have a lot of say. You guys have a lot of creative control-ish, I guess you would say. That intrigued Matt and Nick so much that Cody was like, all right, I told you I wouldn't leave you guys. Let's give it a shot. Cody gave it a shot. It didn't fully work out for him. He left. The Bucks and Kenny signed new deals till 2027. Could they leave and come to WWE after that? Maybe they see Jericho come over in 26, get this huge push and run and go, oh, maybe we do got to give that at least a try once. So, I don't know. I think Jericho, like Cody coming over, a lot of people thought that was going to be the first domino to fall, and a lot of dominoes would fall. Some dominoes have fell, but not a lot. Now, could Jericho also jumping and doing very well, which we know he will, push more dominoes down? Rusev came back. Aleister Black came back. We've gotten a bunch, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's very possible that old Chris Jericho returns to WWE by next January, February. Whether he shows up in the Rumble or not, because maybe it'd be too predictable of him to be in the Rumble, especially if they got to fly to Saudi Arabia, and then maybe someone sees him there. Oh, he's in Saudi. Why was Jericho in Saudi? So I don't know. But again, the going word is that a lot of people, if not just about everybody, expects Jericho to return to WWE in 2026. Again, the feeling is he may have just done everything he can. There's nothing left for him to do in AEW. Now, the other big question is, what theme song does he use? Does he use Break Down the Walls? Does he use Judas? Or does he pull a Chris Jericho and go, no, I'll use something completely different and use a brand new song? Does he get a new song? Does he use something different? I don't know what newer songs that Fozzy has out right now, but that's another thing too. What version of Jericho could we get in WWE? Do we get Y2J? Do we get the Code Breaker when he returned in 2008? Do we get Serious Suit Jericho? Do we get the Painmaker? Do we get the Jericho Appreciation Society? Do we get the Learning Tree? Do we get the Kevin Owens, you're on the list, Jericho? I think we get a mix of a couple different things, maybe. Maybe we get like a Jericho when he was feuding with MJF, Jericho, with a Codebreaker Y2J Jericho kind of thing. Like the Le Champion Jericho mixed with like early WWE Jericho kind of deal. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what version of Jericho we get, what song he uses, and if he even comes. We could be talking all this, just blowing smoke out of our asses, and then he re-signs with AEW or says I'm retired and doesn't wrestle anymore at all. But I don't see that happening either. I don't see Jericho just being done. He's going to have a final match somewhere and a final run somewhere, I believe. So we'll see what happens with Chris Jericho. Before we get into more of the news, let's hear from our sponsor. Does the summer heat got you sweating through your shirt before noon? maybe it's time to chill with an AECOOLY handheld fan. This pocket-sized powerhouse is your secret weapon against scorching temps. Whether catching rays listening to music or just looking to get a great tan, it brings the breeze right when you need it. With 3-speed settings, a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 10 hours, and a whisper-quiet motor, the AECOOLY fan delivers cool comfort without the buzz or bulk. Toss it in your bag, clip it to your desk, or have it right by your side at all times. It's compact, stylish, and oh so convenient. So why melt when you can breeze through summer? Use our link in the description below, scan the QR code on the screen, or head over to pwunlimited.co/AECOOLY. That's AECOOLY now for coolin' in the palm of your hand. Now, as far as AEW does go, we do know that there are a number of AEW stars wrestling hurt, wrestling injured, including a couple really big names for the company. You know, Jon Moxley. We don't know like of the injury, but we know he's banged up. You know, Will Ospreay, he got a neck injury and they might need most likely going to need surgery. We got Swerve Strickland, who also has a messed up knee. Now, as far as Will Ospreay does go, this past week on Dynamite, Will Ospreay did a promo stating, "I'm not cleared for Forbidden Door, but I'm going to take it up the ass and work it anyways." What? Now, is that storyline or is that real? We know the injury's real, but it's not being cleared. Real or storyline? That's the big question. If the doctors told him you're not cleared, but then Tony said you could still work anyways, screw you. Screw you. Now, if it's a Cody Rhodes situation where, yeah, the doctors said, you probably shouldn't work, but you're not going to do any more damage, that's a different situation. But it's a neck. And the neck, you can always do more damage. You can always do more damage. With Cody, it was a completely torn pec off the bone. You couldn't do any more damage. Like, literally, there was no more damage Cody can do to that injury. So it's like, I don't think Ospreay should be working on Sunday. I don't think Ospreay should be in that cage match. Because you know this mother sucker is going to want to go out there and do something wild and crazy. You know this guy is going to want to jump off the cage maybe. Maybe he'll be smart and not. But his last cage match, he did a Spanish fly off the goddamn cage. But if he needs neck surgery, look at Kevin Owens. Owens couldn't even compete in Mania. He found out he was messed up, and March, he had those two pretty hard matches, one with Sammy, one with Cody, prior to finding out he was hurt, and then they were like, no, you need to stop now. You need to stop now and get surgery. A couple months later, he ended up getting the surgery. So it's like, is it as bad as that? And Will is still going, screw it, I want to work anyways, because it's the UK, it's London. Like, if there's been a doctor that told him he needs surgery and he needs surgery now and he shouldn't be working on it until after the surgery, on the neck, till after surgery, that's very irresponsible on a number of parts. And I'm not going to rant and rave on this again. I did it on the Dynamite podcast, called Tony Khan and the company irresponsible if that's the case. Because if someone needs neck surgery that bad, I don't think they should be working. You got to save the wrestler from themselves. You got to tell them, you're not doing it. I know you want to, we want you to, but you're not doing it. Just like in the finals and the semifinals of the G1. God dang, Takeshita took a shot from Zack Sabre Jr. that, according to Brian Alvarez, legit knocked him out for a moment. Suffered a concussion, finished the match, whatever. But then the next night, they just let him go out there and do the finals. What? Takeshita, and then he flies to America, does a collision match with Ishii that I hear was awesome. But yeah, that's another thing. It's like letting wrestlers work hurt. And there are some injuries, like with Adriana Rizzo, where she kind of tore her ACL, but it was an injury where, yeah, you can still work on it. You're eventually going to make it worse, and then you're going to need surgery, but you can work on it now. Swerve's the same way. Swerve's got a torn meniscus that they'd say is bad, but not super bad, as far as he's been working on it since 2019. Now, I had a torn meniscus when I was 15, 16 years old, to the point where I couldn't walk, put any weight on my left leg. Like, what happened to me was I was skateboarding in a dumb area, basically on my driveway. But what happened was our driveway, it was like a long sloped driveway, and then came out to a big pad where it was in front of our garage, so you could fit 3 cars parked, 1, 2, 3. So we had a good big square. It was basically the size of a basketball half court, because we had a basketball hoop there, and like we measured out the line. It was a basketball half court, basically, our driveway end in front of the house. And so when there was no cars there, or only one car there off to the side, we'd skateboard and ride our scooters and everything. And I was not a good skateboarder as a kid, and I was trying to do just an ollie off of the concrete driveway, but onto dirt. So I'm doing it, I'm kind of doing it, but I'm like not really getting it, and I'm like jumping off a skateboard, you know, whatever. But the skateboard wheels are getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. So then there's times when I'm trying to run the skateboard and there's like rocks now stuck kind of within the gravel of the dirt and everything. So the skateboard's not moving well. So then I go and I try to do an ollie off, and the skateboard flies out from under me. My whole body twists and my left knee, boom, right into the concrete. It hurt for a second. I'm like, wipe off my leg, whatever. I'm good. Keep going. Fall a couple more times. Well, about 2-3 days later, it was time to get ready for dinner. My mom said, dinner's ready. Come inside, put your bikes away. We would take our bikes and we'd hang them up in a rack in the garage. I grabbed my bike and I went like this to lift it up, and my left knee gave out and I just fell. Bike fell on me and I couldn't move. I was like, ow, help. I might have cried. I don't remember. But I know that I was in a lot of pain. Mom had to rush me to the emergency room, which wasn't close to the house because we lived up near Yosemite National Park. And so anything for everything was 30, 45 minutes away. So she had to drive me down there. They did x-rays and everything. They said, yeah, you tore your meniscus. Your meniscus is torn. Not to the point where you need surgery, but we think we can fix it with a cast. So what they did was they stuck my leg in a cast. And you guys can see, stuck me in a cast from here, top of my thigh, all the way down to my toes. I was in that for 6 to 8 weeks. Not to make this all about me, but I was in that for 6 to 8 weeks. Couldn't go to school. Tried to go to school. But again, living in the mountains, there's no flat at our school. It was all, you gotta go uphill this way, and then you just flatten down, and you go back downhill. And there's gravel and dirt and everything. And I'm trying to get class to class on crutch. It didn't work. I was late to every single class. They said, we got a lady that'll bring you your schoolwork to your house. That fucked up. She didn't bring me all my work that I needed. Anyways, long story short, Swerve's, I guess, is not as bad as mine. I don't know. But he's got a meniscus injury that eventually they state he's going to need to get taken care of, possibly soon. But he's working with a torn meniscus that he injured while he was in WWE. And so it's like, man, so many people in AEW working hurt. Gabe Kidd, who had to pull out of the freaking G1 due to an injury, is now working this cage match. His injury is so bad that he had to pull out from the most prestigious wrestling tournament of the year. Something that all AEW or New Japan wrestlers look forward to being in. He had to pull out of it. And now he's going to work this. God dang. But also speaking of AEW, they're teasing going back to Australia. Looks like AEW could be returning to Australia in 2026 with very little known at this time. But according to TEG Sports, one of Australia's biggest sports outlets, they broke the news with a bold statement that states, quote, All Elite Wrestling returns in 2026, and it's going to be epic. The energy, the chaos, the spectacle. It all goes down right here. Don't miss your shot. Join the waitlist now to score access to the pre-sale very soon and lock in your place when history is made down under. AEW Australia 2026, be ready. We don't know any other details on when in 2026 this show is taking place and where in Australia this show is taking place. Is it Sydney? Is it Melbourne? Is it somewhere else? Gotta wait and see. But AEW is going to be returning to Australia sometime in 2026. A few more little news notes we're going to get into. Apparently Nick Khan, sorry, the cons of the cons. Nick Khan had a talk with the, I guess you could say, AAA roster backstage at Triple Mania, where Dave Meltzer wrote the following about it, stating, quote, Nick Khan gave a speech to the talent before Triple Mania and told them that he wanted to make it clear that WWE is not here to take over the product. They are only here to assist and make them more global, seen on a more global level, and to ultimately put more money in all of their pockets. Basically, what is written here is they want to keep, at least that's what they're telling people, they want to keep AAA. They don't want to really change the product. Now we just see a little bit where that street fight was a WWE street fight, not a normal AAA street fight. But basically, it's like, hey, you guys are going to still continue to work the same stuff you've been working in the same ways and everything, but we're going to make you guys more mainstream. We're going to make you guys bigger stars and a lot more money. And finally, the last thing that I wanted to do was just go over the card really fast for AEW Forbidden Door. Kind of give some predictions on who I think could be walking out victorious as we do wrap things up here. So as far as everything does go, first off, we do know that Adam Copeland and Christian will be taking on Kip Sabian and now Kill Switch. If you did not see this past Wednesday, it was announced that Nick Wayne did suffer a legit foot injury where his foot is broke. Don't know how long it's going to keep him out. But old Luchasaurus Kill Switch is back and taking his place. Yeah, I think Cope and Christian do pick up the win. I think maybe Cope pins Kip Sabian and gets the win. Also, we do know the AEW World Championship will be on the line when Hangman Adam Page defends against MJF. Don't get me started on this fucking match. It's count out can cause the title change. DQ can cause the title change. And MJF doesn't have to use his contract anymore. So what's going to happen? Hangman's going to... You know... The dumbest part of all of this is MJF not having to use the contract basically tells us there's no chance MJF is winning the actual match itself. There's no way that MJF is actually going to win and Hangman is going to lose. Because why would he need to keep the contract in storyline if he's going to lose? Like, why would Tony still want the contract to be part of the story if Hangman is winning? Or if MJF's not winning? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, that's the dumbest fucking thing they've done. Like, it got me less interested in the match, to be completely honest. So I'm just going to be sitting here going, when's Hangman winning? When's the match over? Oh, they went 25 minutes. Cool. So, yeah, I think Hangman wins because they basically told us Hangman's winning. Yet, there is a possibility that Hangman wins. But then Ricochet and the Gates of Agony come out, beat down Hangman. MJF then says, I'm cashing in. And then he cashes in. But the coolest part of all this would be, and now this is me super fantasy booking, you know, he gets help to beat down Hangman. Hangman's dead to rights. He thinks he's about to beat Hangman. But then Mark Briscoe comes out. 1, 2. All of a sudden, Froggy Bow out of nowhere. He's screwed out of the title. So then he loses twice in one night. That's just me super fantasy booking. But I just think it's so stupid that they said, hey, he doesn't have to use the contract anymore. Because that basically just tells us that he's not winning. Also, with the IWGP World Championship on the line, it is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness with Daniel Garcia in his corner. Zack Sabre Jr. wins this after, I think, either during or after the match, Daniel Garcia turns on Nigel McGuinness. We also do know with the TNT Championship on the line, Kyle Fletcher will be defending against Hiromu Takahashi. No way Takahashi wins this. Kyle Fletcher retains. In a fatal four-way match with the TBS Championship on the line, Mercedes Moné will be defending against Alex Windsor, Persephone, and Bozilla. I think there's maybe a 5% chance Alex Windsor can win, but then I think there's a 95% chance that it's Mercedes Moné. So bada bing, bada boom, Mercedes retains the title. We then have Timeless Toni Storm versus Athena with the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. This is one that I'm a little less confident in my pick here. I think Toni retains, but I also think there's a chance that goddamn Billy Starks helps Athena win. So I'm kind of torn on this one, but my official prediction is going to be Timeless Toni Storm. With the AEW Unified Championship on the line, Kazuchika Okada will be defending against Swerve Strickland. I think Okada picks up the win, retains the title. Not because of the Swerve injury or anything, because even before we knew the Swerve injury, I was like, oh yeah, Okada's going to keep his belt. And with the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line, in an elimination match. Yeah, think of it like that now. We didn't know that on Wednesday. It's an elimination match with the Hurt Syndicate, Bro Dito, and FTR. Think about that one. Not the, oh, well, FTR can win just by pinning Bandito or pinning Brody King. If the Hurt Syndicate don't walk out with tag titles, that means they have to get pinned by somebody. These fuckers don't want to lose. Or at least not to anybody FTR or maybe Brodito. I don't know. Maybe Bobby lets Bandito pin him. Maybe Shelton lets Brody pin him. I don't know. They don't want to lose to FTR, though. So it's like, they either got to do a job or retain the belts. I'm going to say these fuckers don't want to lose or Syndicate retain. And then finally, we do know in a lights out cage match, which in AEW, lights out means closing the show. Last match of the night. It is Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay against Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Gabe Kidd. This match is going to be just a fucking clusterfuck. I'm going to show you that right now. Clusterfuck. And I don't know who wins. So where is my... Oh, I don't have my coin. I was going to flip a coin. I was going to just flip a coin for it. I have a special Super Smash Bros. Coin that I normally use, especially like when the kids can't agree with something. Hold on. Oh, I thought I broke something. I can't find it now. All right. Heads, baby faces, tails, heels. Alexa, flip a coin for me. See if this works. What does it got? What's it got? I said heads, baby faces, tails, heels, tails. Heels win the match. I don't think it matters. I honestly don't think it matters who wins this match, to be completely honest. I mean, if it really does matter, Darby pins Mox. But other than that, I don't think it matters who wins. And that is what we know so far. 9 matches for the card for AEW Forbidden Door this weekend. No pre-show matches have yet been announced. Tony likes to do 2 or 3, so I could expect those soon. But with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, we'll be back live in just a couple of hours for Friday Night SmackDown. Because remember, that show does go live 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. I had to do the math there for a second. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.